Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin Frost here, Kona astrologer. Before I get started on the show, and we're going to do the first week in November, I thought I'd share with you an interesting thing. I found going through some stuff, and I found this. And this is a page out of Hawaii Eye TV Guide. And I used to run this. I did a column for them, see? And they put my ad in. It's kind of fun. I was a pretty good-looking old guy, yeah. Master astrologer, 21 years serving Hawaii, specializing in nuts and bolts type information about your future. Then I had a half-price coupon here. And boy, my phone number's still the same, 322-3584. Wow. Here, this is, I got interested. When was this anyway? Oh, this was March 1993. I'd been doing this for 21 years. That means I started in, 72. That means I've been doing this 45 years. This should be 45 years serving Hawaii. It was a neat little column. People liked it. There was a thing on the top for everyone. Some people would drink too much and get confused about love and pleasure, particularly on Tuesday and Wednesday. This was pretty hardcore stuff. Traditional old-fashioned pleasures are best. Remember the old Beatles song about Mars and Venus being okay? Well, this week they're not. Wrong time for a party. That's interesting. Here I was doing Mars and Venus predictions back in '93. Wow. Venus and Mars being okay. Yeah, there was that Beatles song that had to do with Venus and Mars. In fact, the title of the song is Venus and Mars. So I give you some of the problems here. There's a little burnout here, and square to Jupiter, and macho side being overdone. However, there's a wonderful creative, artistic, and spiritual pattern in the sky. New enlightening ideas come up strong Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And look at this. Read your rising sign first, then your sun sign. So this was a lot different than you see most of the ladies' magazine stuff. You know, this is... I spent some time on this. I had a lot of fun writing this column. Anyway, nuts and bolts. 45 years serving Hawaii. Here's another interesting thing. Fell out of the same file. I had a professional artist once do this. I was going to put it on cards and things, and I was kind of shocked when he came up with. I didn't think I looked like that. He anglicized me a bit. And I never wear a tie. Never. Anyway, my hair wasn't quite that curly. It was a little bit curly. Interesting, huh? Stuff out of the past. And there's my hand. He obviously didn't do hands very well, this artist. Well, enough. Let's get down and do some work for you. What I want to do is go through the sky mirror and give you the flavor of the times, the daily activities. So I drew up a chart for you. Here it is. It's noticeable that Venus and Mars have drifted off quite a bit. Venus got way up ahead of him and ran off from Mars. Whew, probably a relief. As you're watching the show, the sun's going from 4 to 14 Scorpio. Here's Jupiter at 4 Scorpio. So you're sitting on a Sun-Jupiter conjunction. And that's really interesting because I just realized why I'm not getting any orders for chart work, because people are scared. And I thought what they really want is to do some chart work and just do Jupiter. So I wrote this down here. Order Jupiter chart work. Only the goodies. I just did this for a lady. I just did the next 6 years of Jupiter goodies for her, and that's what people like. They want something to look forward to. Right now, things are so scary, they don't want to order chart work because they're afraid there'll be something bad on it. So dump the fear, order Jupiter chart work. Nothing but the goodies, huh? They gloss over any problems on your path. If there's a bear coming up the path, it's just a little bear, big deal. Pause for a while. It's really life is kind of like Texas Hold'em, huh? When you hold them and when you dump them. So, anyway, because I just noticed this. Here's the sun on Jupiter when you're watching the show. And at a different time, early this morning, I got this order Jupiter stuff down. So there you are. It's a good time to order chart work that's totally positive stuff. Gives you all the new openings and the new stuff and the expansions and the healings and all of that stuff. And so rather than do 2 years, of the ups and downs, I just go for the ups. I can give you 6 years, with Jeeps and Chevys. So go to the website and order chart work. Make sure you order the Jupiter chart work, okay? And you get the positive goodies. I don't know why nobody's ever done that before. Maybe that's what the women's magazine astrologers do. At any rate, it's fun for me. Because, I like this kind of work because, I don't have to worry over how to put this problem or that problem. There's a bear in the path. You got to step aside. So it relieves me from a lot of serious part of the work and allows me to do the fun part. So order Jupiter chart work. Concentrate on the goodies. So that's the way you're starting off now this week. The sun is right on Jupiter. Jupiter can be a little manic. He's the other side of, manic depressive. Well, this is the manic side, so Jupiter can clown around. Lawyers and professors like to clown around a bit in a subdued way. They're great at telling jokes. So that's the way it is right now for you watching the show Thursday, Friday. And it kind of came up 3-4 days before. It'll last another 3-4 days as the sun separates from Jupiter. I have a neat, interesting time, huh? Later on next week, the sun, because it's moving 4 to 14 Scorpio, hits 12, and it trines Neptune. And there'll be inspiration. And there'll be color and art and music, and you can go to the concert without fear. Gee, so much fear in the world. Saturn's trining Uranus. Good time to, go solar. Pluto here, huh? Venus, however, as Venus moves up from 16 to 29 Libra, tomorrow for you, it squares Pluto. So Venus isn't out of trouble yet. She can still be arrested. She could have trouble with poachers or rapists or burglars or all kind of Plutonian bad guys. So first part of your week, take it easy, girls. It isn't as bad as having Mars with you, but nevertheless, squaring Pluto, the girls tend to be overly dictatorial, and love is either on or off, and it's kind of gone to extremes. So Venus is being an extremist during this time, and it could get her in a lot of trouble with the policia. So stay home for a few days. Towards the middle of next week, it lightens up, and it gets positively nice here when Venus hits 24. When's that? That's that's next Wednesday, Thursday, or so. When Venus gets to the end here, 29 Libra, she's actually, that'll be your next Friday and Saturday, she will oppose Uranus, where the new moon was. And she could be in more trouble, too. So poor girls, once they got away from Mars and all that angriness and pain and hurt, Ben Franklin said, "The young maids, whatever is asked of you, deny." When Venus and Jupiter in conjunction, or Venus and Saturn in conjunction lie. Anyway, towards the end of next week, she's about to leave Libra, and be a good thing when she does. Goes into the Jupiter place for not this week coming for you, but the next week afterwards. Mars, he's hanging back here, 4 to 9 Libra. He's okay for now. So there's your planetary pattern. And what we're going to do is run the moon around the edge. The moon, all these planets move this way. As they go around the Earth, they go around your chart. Mars takes about 2.5 years to go all the way around. Saturn, he takes 28 years to go all the way around. And usually slows you down. That's when you don't hold them, you fold them. When Saturn's there. But the trine to Uranus says, hold them, you could have a spectacular sudden win. So, there's a weird thing going on here. Being conservative at the same time, kind of entrepreneurial. Anyway, we run the moon around the edge here. Jupiter goes around every 12 years, by the way. He's the good guy. Yeah, every 12 years Jupiter changes signs. And that's what's so important in your chart. That's when you hold them and raise your bet. When Jupiter's hitting in your chart. That's what I just did for that lady client. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And I lined out all the times Jupiter was hitting nicely. And then I added in the full moons and new moons that hit Jupiter and hit her chart. By the time I was done, I had a nice little map of her opportunities for the next few years, when they came up and what they were like. Anyway, order Jupiter chart work, okay? So we're going to run the moon around the edge here. It goes around once a month. And as it makes angles to these planets, it gives you the mood of the times. What's the mood? Well, you're in Capricorn if you're on a Thursday show. And you were investigating Wednesday night, Thursday. Friday, the moon shifts into Aquarius. And Friday is busy. Here around lunch and before lunch, the moon squares Jupiter and squares the sun. Damn clowns. Too much clowning around here. And the good thing is that it trines Mars. So you can get the physical work done if you don't clown around too much Friday. Saturday, the moon's still in Aquarius. Starts with squares to Mercury, can't communicate. But there's a nice trine to Venus. There's some sweets and, stay in bed late and have a nice breakfast with pancakes and honey. A sweet client sent me a jar of honey, which helps my laryngitis. Really nice, organic, wildflower honey. Thank you. So it's that kind of Saturday morning. Go for the honey and keep your mouth shut and you'll have fun. Saturday afternoon towards evening and dinner, the moon goes by the south node. We all need help. Help. I need help. Lightens up about midnight when the moon sextiles Saturn, and then in the early morning of Sunday it sextiles Uranus. So here's your studied innovation. Here's solid development with the technical side going well. Why the heck did they take those tents and sleeping bags and all that stuff away from the homeless? I can't imagine. There's a lot of people in this culture that, blow me away. I don't understand why they do things. But anyway, there's some good sense here. Conservative stuff Saturday night, Sunday morning. The moon goes into Pisces about the middle of the day on Sunday the 29th, and all the vibes change. Here's Neptune. Here's Neptune. Well, at least he doesn't have full moon on him. But, there still could be problems with liquids and confusion and delusion and things getting lost here Monday, especially the first half of Monday. So the last half of Sunday, you're going to feel it. There is a nice trine to the sun here. Well, that's late Sunday night, early Monday morning. So you might make a plan, but I wouldn't really try to put it too much into operation until you get past Monday. Monday night, here's the sextile to Pluto. Do your research. Investigate. That's nice. If you avoided the confusion of the moon going by Neptune, you can continue to develop your stuff. Here's Mercury. He's happy. Tuesday morning, everybody's communicating. But after breakfast and before lunch, here's a square to Saturn, and things slow down, and people are late and a little depressive, isn't it? Saturn. Ugh. Goes around your chart every 29 years. Most people say 28. The Buddhists say the first time it goes around is physical. The second time it goes around is mental. The third time it goes around is spiritual. You go through all the same karmic patterns, they're just on different levels. But nobody likes Saturn much. That's the folding part of things. Everybody feel about quitting here on on Tuesday, October 31st. Is that Halloween? Last day in October. Wow, starts off with delays and scariness in the morning. Well, Wednesday, the moon shifts into Aries, and everything brightens up a little bit. Thing is, there's an opposition to Mars Wednesday morning before lunch, and probably around breakfast time. And people are kind of angry, and there's too much macho going on. Yeah, too much testosterone. Little road rage. What, got late for work and got all angry? Don't take it out on the other drivers. Wednesday, November 1st. As you go into Thursday, early Thursday morning, this is like 3, 4, 5 a.m., the moon squares Pluto. There's a little panicky feeling. Is that a bug in my bedroom? Square to Pluto. Ugh. Panickiness. Can't control it. Can't control it. Uncomfortable. Thursday afternoon, after lunch, here's the moon opposing Venus. Can't get no rest. Kind of breaks loose Thursday night, dinner time, and after dinner, when the moon trines Saturn and conjuncts Uranus. And innovation is the name of the game. What, they made laws against innovation? Well, they try. They try. Those in power. Reminds me of my big royal poinciana trees out there. They don't let anything underneath them grow. And I think those that are in the power positions in our culture keep everybody down. Been like that for me, I know. Anyway, that's Thursday, November 2nd. On Friday, the moon shifts into Taurus. The vibes all change totally. Friday night, here late, is 11 o'clock or so. There's a nice sextile to Neptune. Good time to come fill the cup, and in the fires of spring, the gay winter garments of repentance fling. Oh boy. Now there's a full moon here. This is Friday night, November 3rd. full moon at 12 Taurus. It sextiles Neptune. So Neptune's going to be a good guy for the next month after November 3rd in the evening. And, it's a good time to do art and music and color and figure out how to brew your own beer. Saturday, early Saturday morning, the moon trines Pluto. There's discovery. This is very earthy, practical stuff. The moon's in Taurus here. So practical and earthy and a kind of nice full moon. I like it. Maybe I can be friends with Neptune again. I don't know. Sunday, the 5th, the moon leaves Taurus and goes into Gemini. And there is a nice trine to Mars. After dinner, you can get some physical stuff and some exercise stuff done. But here about 10, 11 o'clock or so, the moon squares Neptune, and all your ideals and dreams kind of get stuck for a little bit Sunday night. That's the way it is. Jupiter, huh? Wow. What an amazing thing. I discovered it here on the show. The sun's on Jupiter, the chart I did the other day, and here I said, order Jupiter charts. Yes. I discovered by accident how much fun it was to do the chart for that lady. She wanted to know about when she could have a chance to get some of her music published and stuff. It's a big music thing, Neptune. Anyway, I enjoy that kind of work. I'd much rather do Jupiter chart work than Saturn. Yeah. I mean, if I'm the messenger and the teacher, huh? And I don't like delivering any poor news. Like, ouch, you got to pause here. Saturn says, wait. Fold that hand. I'd rather deliver the Jupiter news. Bet it up. This is a good time. Go for it. Interesting sidelight. I did this a long time ago. This is like the history of what I call the Houston flood. Yeah. Houston, Galveston is of great concern to me because that's where all the refineries, all the Neptune stuff, and all the chemical factories are. So there's a lot of work. Wow. I mean, this is, it's hard for me to do now, especially if I'm all worried about paying bills because nobody's ordering chart work. But I started back here in May, and I wanted to see how it looked. And sure enough, here, May, 3/4 moons, 1/4 moons, there's a bunch of lunations through here, and they're all telling us that they need help in Houston. I set these all up for Houston. There's a cop's friends out in public, stuck at home, Neptune on the midheaven, public floods. So all this stuff kind of came up May, June. Here's middle of June, Neptune in the midheaven, public floods, insecurity, Pluto. We're in a panic, power, Here's Saturn on the descendant. We all have to help old folks. Okay, so then we got into July, and the series of lunations were all okay. That's interesting, huh? Until we got to August, and they started coming up again. And some of these things were like kind of sharp. It was an eclipse, and bang, there was a hurricane. Late August, huh? And police, military, trouble, roads, yards need help. It goes on. Public crying for help. There's fixing homes, middle of September. Public flood, small stuff, kids at home. As you go into October, where are they at now? It's okay, full moon October 5th. Okay. Saturn. There's a lot of homes. Well, we can't rebuild the homes here in October for some reason. But as you get into November, it gets better. And homes are getting squared away. There's some delays sometimes, but nevertheless. Anyway, look at all those charts I calculated and looked at just to hone in on, one incident. Wow. See what I got over here, some notes on for all of us. And we're featuring October 20th lunation opposing Uranus. So we still have a chance of having some quakes and some big waves and stuff. October, November. Well, enough of that. I'm amazed how much work I did. Of course, I got a lot of side action here. Wednesdays, 5:30, Channel 53 on the Big Island is my show on the Sacred Raven and the Nene. I hope you'll watch it and tell your friends to watch it. Every Wednesday, 5:30, Channel 53. A little more on Jupiter. 12 houses. I call them cars on your train. You can think of them like departments in your corporation. Jupiter goes around once every 12 years, so it spends a year in each one. So what you want to know is, where's Jupiter in my chart? Is it going through the 6th house? I'll work on my health. Going through the 7th house? Partners. Going through the 5th? Time to take a vacation. Going through the 4th? Fix up the house. Going through the 3rd? Get a new car. Going through the 2nd? Get more money. See? So if Jupiter's up at the top of the chart, going through here about 6 years, public success. If Jupiter's going through the bottom of the chart, the bottom 6, it's all private kind of stuff. Your body, your money, your yard, your home, your kids, your health. So where Jupiter is a really important thing. And that's why I enjoy doing this chart work so much. The other thing is, 2 things. Well, Jupiter moves 3 steps forward and 1 step back. 3 steps forward and 1 step back. And when it stops, it gets really powerful. That's when you want to know. So you get those dates. Also, full moons and new moons set it off. So those are the complications I provide for you on a Jupiter chart. I hope you'll try it. Besides, it's fun for me to do. I'm just a messenger. I don't like delivering Saturn news. I'd much rather deliver Jupiter news.